Hello all and welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I'm bringing you an overview of Owner's Choice. This is a stock market game. It's brought to you by these guys at the bottom left there, and the designer is hiding on the back of the rule book. Here we go. Now this one is all about buying and selling shares. It's a 2 to 5 player game, lightweight, very lightweight, and it'll take you roughly 30-45 minutes. So as you are buying and selling shares, you are hoping to increase the price and hopefully it doesn't go down too much and go bankrupt. You've got 4 different colours for 4 different companies, and you start off with $6.90 in money. First thing all of you are going to do, decide a start player. They are going to get the chance to buy as many shares as they want. You can only ever have a maximum of 12 at one time. You can go over that, but as long as you sell and go down to the 12 limit at the end of your go. So you could start by buying any of these colours at 100 a pop. So you're looking at this left hand side, which is the price, and the right hand side is the dividend when that comes to happen. So let's just assume I buy 2 yellow shares, I pay my 200 and pop that in the bank over here. Now you can see there's a modular board, and these can go on any orientation, and they've got a bit of variety. The same similar sort of stuff though, so you pop those there, and the price doesn't alter. Interestingly, you keep the price the same. Like most stock market games, if you buy something, it'll fluctuate somewhere over. So you literally just buy as many stocks as you want and over to the next player clockwise, and once everyone's bought their sort of opening positions, you then kick off. So you can see there's a purple pawn just at the bottom here. That is the starting point, and in a 2-3 player game, you're going to be moving up to 1 to 4 ahead. You get to pick. There's no rolling dice or anything. You just decide, right, I'm going to go here, 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 here. And in a 4-5 player game, you get to go up to 3 spots ahead. Now literally, this is the speed of the game. You're going to be going round once, and that's the end of the game. You get to that goal spot, you can't go past it. Whoever gets there first gets $100, and that is it. You end the game. You add up all the money you've acquired throughout by buying and selling, and then you sell any shares you've got at the value they currently are in the market, and whoever has the most money wins. So let's just give you an example, and this player is going to decide, well, this isn't a player, this is just the token, but let's just assume these guys are up and they're going to go to yellows. Now what would happen is they are the player who have moved it, but whoever has the majority of yellow shares, and it is these guys in this case, would have what's called the president's dice. So you can see there's 4 different colours of dice, and whoever has the majority gets it. And they then have a choice as the president. So it's not the person who's landed on it, it's the person who has the majority of that colour, who's called the president, who gets to decide what to do. And the first thing they can do is either roll this dice, or they can roll this fun dice, which sort of has negative things on, but can be, there's a big silver line, and if there's a big pot of money in the fund. Now, I should add, before they make that decision, whoever moved this pawn can buy and sell as many shares as they have in their portfolio as they want, or they can wait to buy and sell after they've moved the pawn. So you can see, you're going to buy and sell at the current prices, or you're going to maybe hopefully some fluctuation up, hopefully, or maybe you want to see your competitors go down, and then you can do some buying and selling. So in this case, they've ignored that. They've gone straight to the move option. These guys, which is them, they can either roll this dice or roll the black dice. Now, why would you want to roll your dice and not the other one? So let's take a look at the back of the rules, and you can see they tend to vary, if that focuses, from less risky to riskier. So on the green dice, you got a dividend, you got another dividend, you got an increase in price, you've got a price +2, status quo means nothing happens. The blue dice, you got a plus, you can other companies -1, so you can influence others. You got bigger increases in price on the yellow, +3, +2. I think there's a -1 on there as well, and then you can see there's a +1 on other companies. So the type of companies you're aiming to get do slightly different things. So if you're after those dividends, you know, you might be going for the green die. If you want sort of bigger increases and take your odds, and you might go for the yellow die, etc. So that's something you want to be mindful of when you're buying these shares. Now the president, then, whoever's got the majority, as I've always said, will probably want to roll this dice, and if they do, they have to pay $50 into the fund. If the stock price of yellow in this case, is ever sort of 190 plus, you can see you're going to have to pay 100 as the president to put the to roll the president's dice. Now, if you don't want to roll this because you want to roll this dice instead, you can see on the black dice there is a host of things. If that, you've got status quo again, which means nothing happens, and generally the price of the share is going to go down, so -2, and you get all the money in the fund, and then there's a -1. So as you progress throughout the game, presidents are going to be probably wanting to roll their dice because good things should happen. You know, the price of that company will go up too. So if that was the case, let's just say we rolled that, you know, boom, boom, 140 per share you own now, and everyone shares. But if you wanted to kind of tank a company maybe, and the pot had developed into sort of like $400 or $500, and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not too fussed, yellow's kind of down here anyway, you're not going to do your go, you're going to roll the fund die, and you can see you've got a -1, so this would go down 1, and you're going to get all the money in the funds. So that might be an option you prefer to do, especially if everyone else is kind of invested in yellows and you've decided, you know what, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to sell out at a slightly reduced price. So that's what you can do on the fund die. Now, as you have rolled your die, you then get to decide if you didn't buy or sell shares prior to that, you can then buy and sell shares. If they're cheaper, then maybe you want to consider buying them, or if it's gone up, you can maybe sell them. Literally goes clockwise, and the next player will decide, right, am I going to go one of these 4 spots? So on the board itself, you've got each company colour, so green, blue. Some of them offer you a choice. Where are we? This one here. So if you land on there, you can pick any one of the companies. If you land on this event die, event spot, you get to roll this event die. All companies -1. You've got receive 50 from the fund if there's any money in there, and roll again. Any company -2. We've done that one yet. So there's a few little goodies on there. They can affect everyone, or you can just get a sneaky bit of money. So that's what the event does. You have got times 100, which is for every president dice you have. So if you've got the majority in several companies, you're going to get $100 for each one. And the final one was a dollar symbol, which is the dividends for the top company. So if you did land the pawn on here, and you didn't have any shares in red, it's still going to be red that's paying out. So you want to be mindful of where your what shares you own and how far the price is up there. And only this company, if there was a tie, then both those companies would pay dividends. So if you had 2 blue shares, you're going to be getting 2 times 40, $80. So generally, you go clockwise, this is going to move around. You're going to land on green. The green president's going to roll the die. They're going to get paid dividends. So for each share, it's going to be 30. Next player goes, they go to blue. Whoever's got the majority in blue, the president would pay their money in there. They'd roll the die. You can see +2. So generally, they're going to go up. And then people can obviously buy and sell prior to having made that roll or not. And once this pawn gets all the way around to the goal, you can't go past it. Last player gets $100, and the game ends. So the crux of this game is really when to be buying and selling, and you kind of want to make this money work really, because you start with 690, which is a really weird number, but it's odd because you'll maybe go all out in yellow. It's a bit riskier, and the price, it's the luck of the die as well, folks. So some games I've had, you know, the die doesn't really fall your way, but you just have to make the most of it and eke out those extra dollars as you try and beat your opponents in what is really a super quick game as you go around. If you think about it, if you're playing a free play game and it's moving, what did we say, 4 spots, you know, you potentially one player could go there, then they could go here, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so, you know, 9 or 10 goes if you really pushed it. But the odds are you're going to want to land on the colours that you own. You're going to, you know, bump up the price and then sell out at the end of your go. So that is it. There's not really a lot more to it. There's a little bit of sneakiness as to if you don't want to pay that 50 for rolling the president down, you do roll the fund, because pretty much you're going to be tanking the price. And if it does go bankrupt, then all that happens is everyone puts their shares back. You don't get paid out anything for them. This resets at the start price, and then players can go ahead and buy and sell that on future rounds. And there we are, folks. If you want to watch a run through of this, I'll be bringing you guys that next week. Enjoy.